All right, Harry, I get this question a lot of the time, right? What should I be reading or focusing on as a Christian in the morning time? What part of the Bible should I be spending my day in? The Psalms, Proverbs, the Gospels, the letters? What would you say?
Yeah, I like the question. As I got thinking about it, it's so in the morning you wake up. Okay, so you're trying to get awake. You're doing
Mm.
breakfast. The kid's off to school or whatever. You got work plans. How did things finish yesterday? What I got to do, and then you got to meet somebody this morning that's not going to. That's a bit awkward, and so there's a lot of stuff going on in the morning. The one thing you do not need is some complicated theological question to
Mhm.
ponder during all this stuff. So,
So, where would that leave us to then? What would be the final conclusion of something that you would recommend then?
okay. So I personally think what we need to read is a story, positive and encouraging. So whose story? Paul's stories or Jesus' stories? What would you pick?
I would say Jesus's stories.
Why?
Well, they're simpler. They're just more of a story, and Paul's is theological. Like gets it's more of a thinking atmosphere.
Yeah, yeah. So as in the New Testament, that's where we get the bulk of our food as a Christian. So which books are the easiest to understand in the New Testament?
Well, we got Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and the Book of Acts.
Right, all five. That's right, because they're full of stories and questions. So what I would really suggest is, if you were reading the Gospels particularly, take one of those stories or questions and put it in your mind's pocket, because it's something you can kind of remember for the day. Because if you read a parable, you read a story, you read something that happened in Acts where Paul went to this city, or something along that line, you can remember that. An hour later, you say, "Yeah, I wonder about that," or the
Mhm.
Sermon on the Mount, or something that was.
Something healthy to meditate on throughout the day, right? And when we say meditate, we mean ponder our thoughts across it.
Yeah,
Now, I just
because
have another question to you. So, when we're reading the Gospels, then, how many chapters in the morning do you think we should read? Five, three, two, one, maybe a half a chapter? What's
yeah, no, like I think it would be really healthy to read a whole chapter.
Mhm.
But read it slow. Half a chapter even will give us material to work on, and then so when do we read the other material? And then at nighttime, read something heavier then, and something that's going to challenge your thinking or whatever. That's a time you could spend a half an hour on something, but it's good to do the Gospels also, of course. But really, in the morning is likely not a good time to read about something that is theological or complicated, but you won't remember it. And if you can't remember it, then what do you do with
Mhm.
that? You need
That's good.
something.
That's good. Because Harry, actually, when you told me this advice a while back, and I applied it to my lifestyle, I noticed a huge growth. Like just reading the Gospels in the morning time. Something like you say, healthy to ponder as your day goes across. Something happens, you're like, oh, maybe I should have been a little bit more comforting to that person, because blessed is they when they mourn, for they shall be comforted. We can apply all these things that we're learning throughout the New Testament, and especially in the Gospels, into our daily life when we read them. So it truly blessed me, and that's why we came up with this idea to help other people, because we heard it in our Bible study the other day as well. So that's good, Harry, and I appreciate the answer.
Thank you.